Okay, here we go. So if you're going to solve an equation that has a fraction in it like this, we do something at the high school here called clearing fractions. Why? Because nobody likes fractions. You can get the fraction out of a problem by simply multiplying by the denominator. What is the denominator of this fraction? A 5. But here's the mistake a lot of people make. They know to multiply this by 5, and they know to multiply this by 5, but what do they forget? Not the 3 is getting multiplied by 5. The negative 2, yes, somebody said the negative 2. That has to get multiplied by 5 also. You have to do it to all 3 parts. Let me prove why. Would you agree that 1 plus 4 is equal to 5? If I go and double this one, and I double this one, it doesn't work anymore, does it? 2 plus 4 equals 10. So, do you get I have to double all of them? This becomes 2 plus 8 equals 10. See, it works if you double all of them. So you got to double. Okay, go ahead. Yep. All right, so now let me show you. Here's the problem that we started with the black one there, and I multiplied by the blue 5 everywhere, and I'll do it in red now. Why did I multiply this by 5? So that those 5s would cancel. Then I have 3x minus 10 equals, what's that? 15. And do you recognize it now? Now it's like all your other problems. You add 10 and then you divide by 3. All right, so if you have a fraction in a problem like this, 4/5 x minus 1 equals 2, I think you're all going to know to multiply by 5. But the question is whether you'll just remember to multiply all 3 parts by 5, or whether you will fall to the classic mistake is think you just multiply the front and the back, like the front of it and the end of it by 5. You can't do that. You got to multiply all 3 parts by 5. All right. Now I have one more thing that's even smarter than that, and I'm going to let you do it this way if you'd rather. Instead of starting by multiplying by 5, I could start with something else. And it's slightly smarter to do it this way. What do you think? Yes, you could start with this with adding 1 first. And then I'll have 4/5 x equals 3. Then I will multiply by 5. Now tell me, why is it smarter to do it that way? Because now there's only 2 things that have to get doubled. Get how it's a little bit less work? Because you don't have to double 3 things, you only have to double 2 things. So here I would, in this case, times by 5, times by 5, and those cancel. 4x equals 15, and from there it's super easy. Divide by 4, and you got it. All right, so let's do one. Everybody grab your scratch paper and write this one down. I'm going to pause for a second while you get ready. Here's our first one. 3/4 n plus 2 equals 6. Now, I'm okay with 2 different ways of doing it. I showed you 2 different ways. But whenever you do multiply, make sure you multiply everything that you have left. But I did show you 2 different ways. Try it either way. See what you get. I'll pause while you try that one. All right, so I'm doing 4 times all of them, as one of my students just said. And I'm drawing a line. The reason I draw a line, you don't have to, but hey, you got unlimited ink if you're on an iPad. Or if you're on a piece of paper, it doesn't cost much to draw a line across, and it keeps you more organized. This cancels, another line. 3n plus 8 equals 6 times 4. Ooh, that's a tough one. What is it? 6 times 4? 24. Good. Okay, and now it's one of those simple ones. 2 more steps to being done. Can you tell me what the next step is to being done up here? -8 is correct, sir. All right, try this one. And then it's 3n equals, what is 24 minus 8? 16 is correct. How do I finish this thing? Divide by 3. Very good. Divide by 3. Divide by 3. N equals 16 thirds. And I hope you like that you don't have to simplify that. That is a good number. At the high school, we like improper fractions like that. Big number on the top, it's okay. So 16 over 3. How many of you had that one right? Be honest. If you didn't, it helps me know that you're not quite there yet. Okay. All right, so one more. Actually, at this point, I think we're going to switch to our worksheet. I'm going to pause while I do that. Here we go. Number 1 off of this worksheet says this. All right. Now that little warning bell, you hear that? Yeah. Here, listen. All right. That is the warning bell for me that tells me that I have 2 minutes left to wrap it up, and then it's got to be your time. I set a clock even so that you could be sure that you'd have 10 minutes of built-in time. Okay? So anyway, I've got like 1 minute of that left. So here it is. W over negative 3. Who knows what the denominator is? Say it if you know it. Negative 3. I'm going to multiply everything by negative 3. Negative 3 here. And negative 3 here. Why am I putting them in parentheses? Because math teachers often do that to make it clear it's a multiply problem instead of like a subtract 3. You get all a minus 3 kind of looks like a subtract 3. We're multiplying by negative 3. Okay, so then this one comes out to, anybody do that in your head? I'll be impressed. Close. 49 is it. No, it's not. It's 39. Dang it. My bad. 13 times 3, 10 times 3 is 30. 3 times 3 is 9. 39. There we go. It was a tough one. That's why I was going to be impressed if anybody got it. Why did we do this? So that the 3's would blank. So the 3's would what? Cancel. I said blank, because like you fill in the blank, you know. So why did we do this? So that the 3's would cancel. All right. W minus, and then wait a minute. It's 2 minuses. I'm suspicious. Plus 12. And from there, this becomes a super easy problem. You just got to get the W alone, so just one step left. All right, that's all I got for you for today.